Well, T1 get to pick now, so let's just focus on that.
Yeah.
And
it's going to be a Hwei.
Wait, I mean, last time Faker played... Okay, you know, we would talk a little bit about... Is Faker going to get the POGs? You know, what would have to happen? Are the team going to set him up? His last Hwei performance, he got the POG, and he honestly just kind of steamrolled the entire game.
For that particular bottom lane, we'll see whether Teddy and Pleta can prove us wrong as we dive towards Summoner's Rift for game number 1. Yes, earlier on today, and got to hear from our boy Umpty.
Oh yeah?
It was absolutely fantastic. Makes you realize that, you know how we have like the coaches interviews and they're always pretty stale and they're not really saying too much? Umpty proves that LCK players can.
Such a banger.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely would love to see the return of those, but not sure.
Oh, Blakeful are actually going to get a little bit of a snare onto Gamushi, and then Pleta immediately regrets his decision to go in.
This is part of the problem. You know, it's definitely level 3 is where Zyra Khan gets a bit more strength, but you know...
Purely that play is now. Gamushi's going to cleanse here as a bit of a battle is going on. The Aqua Prison does not really connect, but still, T1 having a pretty good trade. That ebb and flow value, triple. And top lane prio is going to be there as well. As we can see here, they're having a little bit of a look in. As Rascal is slicing and dicing, gets on in there, as now Zeus going to have to run, does have to use the Ghost in order to get himself out of there. Dominance from Rascal helping him here in this lane for now. Does still have the flash available, so does Zeus. Sponge coming on over to help DRX out as Ona thinking about finding an opportunity, and there is a fantastic Magnus Storm into a double bubble from Carrier. Gumayushi now dashing in. Teddy explodes as Faker's ultimate goes off, and that is first blood for the Lucian, and Faker able to pick one up on the back end of that one as well, and DRX just 9 minutes into the game, 3.5 on the next Dragon. As Ona's coming up towards his top side now. This guy's sort of everywhere this game as Rascal does throw down the Dominus, but he's still losing so much of his health bar. Crashdown comes on in alongside the Magnet Storm as Rascal does have the ability to slice his way out and doesn't even have to flash. But still, gonna have to vacate this area, doesn't have teleport, and so therefore the amount of pressure on this turret going to be very, very high.
Yeah, he's trying to get a heal off on those minions.
So Carrier coming down just to make sure that that is definitely a fact. Moving on in here as Bubble is going to connect. Featherstorm is going to be used in response as Carrier was tanking up that turret and isn't really too phased by it at all.
Says a lot that you get rooted in a tower and nothing comes from it. Yeah, this is starting to feel very painful. They've backed off, so they're not going to end up dying to this play, but they are going to lose even more plates.
And Change is going to be the lead here as now Sponge looking for Faker. He's just going to wander northward, but yeah, who is going to be able to find that angle? There is a twisted advance in, and the explosive charge is going to be enough. Yeah, who locks that one down? So there's the first kill for DRX. As Rascal closing the distance onto Zeus as well, who finds himself a gold cup, but still will be culled. Don't know whether he's necessarily the Meek though. As Destiny going to be utilized here. Over the wall. Just another fact to thrown out.
I mean, I think we get it, right?
Yeah, he's very, very strong. And now he's going to demonstrate that by throwing this culling into Sponge. Not exactly the primary target, as Faker landing a lot of damage here. The interruption not going to be available onto Yehu. Does safely rocket jump his way out.
Down towards the Dragon. Faker been clearing waves on the top side. He moves mid. Guma moves towards Dragon. They get that.
That's the sole point. Just for nothing there as Grand Entrance comes in. Good battle dance from Pleta. Get himself out of the way of the tidal wave, but still Gumushi takes half of Teddy's health bar by just pressing his R button. Well, Teddy is just going to charge the turret. Let's see how he's going to do. As there's a Featherstorm, that gets him up there as Ona was kind of baited into this one. He will go down as the first kill, but Sponge is traded off as well. Destiny's going to come forward, and Rascal, yeah, he is just dead. It's a double kill for the Twisted Fate as Zeus. Not finished just yet. He could see some low health bars. Pleta's moving in. They do spot the fact that the Tristana is down here. Is now Faker. Not going to find too much. Ulti is going to be thrown over as Yahoo just dives on in. There's the flash forward. Quickness comes down and Faker is just going to be eliminated. That's a kill for Yahoo. So something on the other side of the rift here is T1.
It is going down fairly quickly.
Extremely quickly. For 21.5 minutes, kind of ludicrous. But now Sponge is making his way forward. Tidal Wave is going to get a lot of value as the Featherstorm comes out. And now the Magnet Storm is going to catch Teddy, and he is just obliterated. Gumayushi so much damage as he's dashing after the Renekton as well. They kept the Baron leashed, and they're going to look for that one now as T1. The foot is never coming off the gas this game.
Yep, and the thing is, I actually like the play DRX went on the bot side.
Oh, you got to try and get something, but oh my god, okay. There's all three of those kills going over to the Lucian. With all of that damage that he has, Quick Blades completed already as item number 3 at 22 minutes.
Interesting, we often see like...
Okay, ulti going to connect onto Sponge here. The Unending Despair is named pretty well here for DRX right now, but Sponge is going to be able to keep himself alive, even able to walk back and get a bit of extra health from that redemption, but it's not going to save this inhibitor turret.
I think you just have to go for an all-or-nothing fight on this point. You got such a deficit. I think it's very hard to expect them to win this. But
yeah. Oh dear. Teddy taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, running low.
Faker wasn't even on the screen. It's so unfair. It's now reacted. Oh my god, Rascal taking so much damage. Does get a decent amount of health back with the Call the Meek, but he is still really dead. And Carrier now chasing after Faker, who's running real quick. Nature grasping at T1, but Faker is just going to say, no, thank you, Mr. Tree. And Sponge is going to join his Crocodile. Now a couple of 80 carries and a Rakan is all that's left of DRX to try and help this one. Shattering Strike onto Pleta, but T1, they will regain control around this Dragon. Control Ward in the pit, though, for DRX. There's at least that, as Zeus is just splitting. So this could be Solden. No, it's not. So the Soul is... Okay, never mind. Still up and available. I thought the Dragon's health bar was going down very low, but that was a Control Ward, so
okay,
never mind.
So Rascal's actually come back here, but I think he loses that 1v1 pretty hard.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a worry here as Faker is going to be pushed back into DRX. He will be taken down first off as Pleta somehow survives, but Sponge not going to be so lucky. And yeah, that 1v1 like you were talking about, the Twist of Fate's going to take that as Bubble going to be avoided, but that is Featherstorm now on cooldown for Teddy. He has to be very, very careful as Yahoo diving forward, trying to find Gumayusi, who is just going to flash his way out. The Destiny going to be utilized as back in base. They're trying to defend against this Twisted Fate, and Yahoo, he's going to be put into the bubble prison. Owner is going to take the soul. Pleta will die as these cards do find him, and he will take down the Nexus. T1, an absolute flattening of DRX in game number 1. And Carrier hit some amazing bubbles.
Zeus, finished the game. Like, I think there's at least little arguments you make for everyone, but Faker didn't have the most impactful game.
No.
So...
Spike that they can try to fight around, maybe get themselves the second Drake, third Drake, something like that, and get themselves into the game. Of course, the ultra late game will belong to T1 almost exclusively. It's going to be very, very difficult. We know that Faker can hit these rockets very effectively. Is absurd. Let's jump onto the Rift here for game number 2. Is absurd. Let's jump onto the Rift here for game number 2.
Lanes like Aphelios Lulu really bully out in the 2v2, and when it's Guma Carrier
for the Rel to really try and create an advantage for the bottom lane.
Flip the entire game on a level 3 dive?
Yeah, and Teddy, see, trying to make this one happen. There is the crash down on top of Gumayusi, who does eventually flash. That is going to keep him alive, as now Owner is making his way in, and Sponge is extraordinarily low. The Bramble Smash does push him away, but they're looking to turn it. Flash out from Owner is Teddy. Oh, he doesn't find the double tap, and there's the flash out from Carrier. Everyone is so incredibly low, as Pleta, he really wants to do it, but it's just not going to happen. Look at this, sub 100 health for both of these bottom laners, and Owner can't do anything about it because he's also excruciatingly low. Yep, the Hex Flash over as Sponge makes his way in. There it is! The crash down to interrupt it as well, but Teddy is also going to die. So it's a 1-for-1, and First Blood does go over to DRX. There is that.
Maybe Teddy just cleans up both Guma and Carrier.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Obviously didn't plan out that way.
Oh, more Hex Flash value. Here we go, Sponge. Start charging it up as Jonas Strong turns it off, and there we go. The crash down on top of him, straight into the bubble, and Teddy, he's going to be able to pick up the kill this time around.
This is what I'm talking about. A good return gank. All the summoners are down. DRX actually making things happen.
Bubble going to connect, actually, as Teddy dashes in. Tycho's blessing, a lot of extra damage as he is turned into a critter, that polymorph, but a little bit late. Damage had kind of been done still. Going to lose out on the trade.
They get the barrier from Guma, so I think DRX are fine with that. They'll be able to sustain back up with Pleta's healing.
The culling.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Tidal Wave actually going to be utilized here as Carrier is in so much trouble. Piercing Light comes down. That is going to be Teddy locking down the kill onto the Lulu, and no Rel required for that one, really.
Yep, that people win going Hex Drinker. Oh,
this is pretty nice. Sweet Spot does come on through there onto Zeus still. The Lucian Demption has been pretty ridiculous as Zeus just stepping out of these Sweet Spots beautifully on the Twisted Fate. not going to step out of that one as I say it, but that's a caster curse. And those are real. Jat reminded me of it earlier on today. As Ona sidestepping really nicely, crashed down on top of him, but there's the charm to come on through from Yehu. Ona did utilize the Twisted Fate, the Twisted Advance quite well, but now it's Sponge that's in trouble, and Faker, he delivers a package, has to flash out immediately, but the tidal wave not going to be enough there as the Maokai picks up the kill, and Teddy has to cleanse and flash to get himself the heck out of this one. And in fact, I think Carrier has gone for Dreammaker more than a lot of our other supports. If I remember correctly, is. All right, Ona is going to get a Magnet Storm out and is just going to take a massive amount of damage and die. Yeah, that's pretty good work here for DRX. Not a lot to fight for in the river towards his bottom side, so Ona probably just wasn't expecting the whole gang to be down here. As Zeus finding a gold card onto Rascal.
Yeah, they catch him isolated, and also when...
Oh, not going to get the sweet spot on the second Q, and may just get autoed to death. There we go. Zeus going to lock that one up. That's a solo kill. As Charm not going to be utilized, as Yehu didn't find the angle between the minions onto Gumayusi.
Playing alone, you're not actually that tanky. And yeah, you know, Rascal's been trying to find these angles all game, but the Ghost is such a powerful tool in the 1v1 against the Aatrox.
And they're just barely out of range of these Qs. Red makes Rascal look a little bit silly. Oh, we do have the Scryer's Bloom, but it's actually Zeus that takes that one away from Yehu, misses the charm. It's just been so incredibly swift. As okay, there's the steal. Sponge likely to die, but he's done his job. And there we go. Lockdown does come on through. But unfortunately, DRX just not home to really pick the... Oh, never mind. They're just in their summer home in the mid lane. And Rascal is going to suffer the wrath of the deliveries. But you're the whisperer of the Chemtech. Shouldn't you be the one that tells us that actually it's fine and it's a great dragon?
No, that's not.
Oh, that's not how that one works.
That's not how it works.
Little Snowman Teddy is immediately going to cleanse, actually, get out of that gold card. Cullen comes on through and does a lot of damage to Zeus here as they're still looking to chase after. There's the Flash Magnet Storm as Yehu is going to get immediately CC'd as he dives in. And now Sponge is in trouble. Gumayusi has red-white, and that is a dangerous time. Teddy now below 100 health as the Destiny does come on in, and Yehu, he's not going to survive. The Destiny doesn't really do too much as far as gate value, but still T1 going to move towards the Baron as they love to do at 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah, Faker actually going to Clips first rather than the Malignant typically see.
Oh, kind of nutty is. Okay, Zeus just going to avoid the charm and just wanders his way out. He's so incredibly fast. The Infernal Chains do not activate, and they finally... Oh, never mind. Okay, there it is. The third Q going to come on through. It took 4 people, not the 3 they initially invested, as now Rascal could be in trouble. Good Bramble Smash, but there's the crash down onto Ona as well. Still, the Moonshot, ball throwing champions. Like Ziggs and Orianna and Syndrome.
Yeah, I think...
Yep, cover me is what he's saying.
The problem was he couldn't dodge a flash.
Yeah. Yeah, they do have control vision in this area as Sponge finds himself a decent Shattering Strike. There's the package out from Faker. That is going to block them off entirely, and Sponge is thrown around like a ragdoll. There's the Moonlight Vigil. That's going to connect onto him as the Baron. Oh, that's going to be the cue to follow it up. As now Teddy looking for Faker here. He finds him, but I don't know whether he really wants to, as the Rockets not going to find the mark. Good sidestep there from Teddy as Destiny comes through just for the extra vision. The Mega Blast Cone gets them all the way away from this Baron. And Zeus, he turns up. That is going to be a gold card from a million miles away and a couple of screens. He is going to just transition into picking up the kill onto both of the damage dealers. DRX now just looking for Soul Point. They can possibly get it. Zeus is going to say, no, you're not allowed to have that, as the charm goes entirely wide, and Zeus just does so much damage. There is the Twisted Advance forward from Ona, and Redemption going to come on through as well. Faker collects the kill onto the Nami that was delivered, and Sponge going to jump over his own base gate. Zeus just, as soon as he has that gold card above his head, he is so incredibly scary. And there it is. Stun going to come down onto Sponge, but wildcards do not connect. Not that they really do all that much damage anyway. 4 items Twisted Fate is pretty silly.
Yeah, he has Infinity Edge as well. So he, you know, if you take a lot of autos from him, he'll hit, but he just chunks now.
Yeah, well, there's a Magnet Storm trying to do something here, but Ona not too worried about it, as we can see, and Sponge is just going to be taken down pretty unceremoniously. Zeus now looking for Rascal here as well, as he's tanking up the turret. And the Nexus is just going to go down. T1 with a very comfortable 2-0.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jisoo for the post-match interview translation, joined by the entire T1 squad after their victory up against DRX today. Congratulations on the win, guys. Let's start off the interview with Zeus. You secured your spot in the playoffs round 2 with the victory of the last match of the regular season. How do you feel? We had to win in order to secure second place, and I'm happy that we got a very clean win. And you performed very well on your back-to-back Twisted Fate series. And Twisted Fate in general is sitting on a very high win rate. How did you feel when it was let through twice today? I think at this moment, TF, as long as he can, scale decently, he's really strong. And he's a very versatile pick, so I think it's a really good card at the moment. And you won POG on TF in Game 2 as well. Have you practiced this champion a lot recently? I mean, the skill mechanism is pretty simple, to be honest. So you just need to have good mechanics, It all comes down to the pilot. You have to warm up your fingers well in order to, pull off those plays. It's not about the talent. It's more about how you are performing that day. What kind of play can we expect from you at playoffs? What is your goal? Well, to be honest, I don't think I was able to kind of display and make a big statement with my performance recently, so I really wish I can come back as a strong top laner at playoffs. Owner, second place to close out the regular season, and you're heading to the playoffs round 2. How do you feel? Yeah, we had to win to make it to the second round directly, and I'm really glad that we got to get a very clean win today. And game number 1 was your 300th LCK game, and you even won a POG on REL. Congratulations on that as well. Are you happy with your performance today? Yeah, pretty much. It was a milestone game for me, and also a very important match for T1 as well in order to get the second place spot. So I'm really happy that we achieved a very good result. Is there any particular team that you guys are cautious of? I want to say every team that made playoffs has potential and they're pretty strong. So regardless of our opponent, I just wish T1 can display the best performance possible. And Faker, today is your 11th debut anniversary. What a record! I mean, you have played so many different regular splits so far, but how do you look back at this one? We had a big meta shift this season. And there were a lot of situations and fun moments throughout the season, so I'm happy that we got to have a great time together as a team. And with this win, your Corki is now having a 22 game winning streak only in the LCK. Does Corki mean something special to you? Well, Corki requires a lot of support from your team, so I gotta say I got really lucky and I was in a really good circumstance in order to kind of continue that win streak. And we are so excited to see T1 perform at best of 5s now. How are we gonna prepare for the playoffs? I can say we have a bit of a time to prepare, so I want to focus on our strategy, our performance, and make sure that we are performing at the best condition. And Gumayusi, first season after winning Worlds, what was your mindset and resolution heading into this spring season? It felt like we just won Worlds and it started right away, so it happened so quickly, so I just wanted to make sure that I can perform at my best level. Then what do you want to show in the playoffs? Playoffs has a different kind of, style. It's a very different kind of format, so I just want to make sure that we can, enjoy every match, but also make sure that we can win LCK. And today, T1 CL players are here to support you guys. Anything you want to say to them?
9등인가 8등인가
As far as I know, they close out the season as 8th or 9th place. So, you know,
썸머 때는
you guys gotta step it up, guys.
있도록 응원하겠습니다.
I wish they can perform better at the summer season.
채찍도 아주 도움이 될 것 같습니다.
Piece of advice coming from Gumayusi, who just finished second place in the LCK regular season. And Keria, it seemed like you were in a very good mood before the game started. I was like smiling or like laughing before the match started, like during the walk-up, because I did a 1v1 with Rascal and he was so bad, so I thought it was so funny. Looking back at the entire spring season, what was the good memories and what could have been done better? The good thing was that we were able to play without feeling too pressured. You know, we kind of figured out how to deal with the pressure, but still, we lost 3 matches, and I think that's a lot for us. So I think we should have played better and lost less. Any team you want to face before, anything you want to face at the playoffs? I mean, I want to say all the LCK playoff teams are really strong. They're all, you know, strong enough to win LCK titles. So I just don't want to let our guards down. And this TK fan sign says, Keria, let's live happily ever after. I mean, drawings can make everything, you know, look better. They can romanticize everything, but Tom Kent is too ugly to make it happen. Too bad. And Faker, lastly, you know, today during the walkout, T1 players are holding a cute top bird with their signature pose. Anything you want to say to all the T1 fans out there? Playoffs is right around the corner. I hope we can kind of show everything we prepared and make sure that we can, you know, bring the best experience to the fans as well. Thank you so much for your support. And that was the team interview joined by the entire T1 team, and now we will be joined by the DRX players.
DRX 선수분들 입장해 주시고요. 라스칼, 프로그, 스펀지,
Please welcome Rascal, Frog, Sponge, Yehu, Teddy, and Pleta.
네, DRX 선수분들입니다. 여러분 큰 박수 부탁드립니다.
Please give it up for the DRX players who worked so hard throughout the season.
네, 끝까지 최선을 다해준 선수분들인데요. 일단 라스칼 선수와 먼저 이야기 나눠보도록 하겠습니다. 라스칼 선수 DRX에서 또다시 맞이한 정규 시즌이었습니다.
It was another regular season with DRX. What are your thoughts after finishing the last match?
되게 팀원들한테
Well, personally, I feel so sorry for my teammates, you know. But still, as a team, we were able to stay strong and give it our all. So I want to say we just closed out the series with no regrets. You know, we tried so hard until the very end. So I want to say GG's everyone, great job. What was the most regrettable part? My personal form, and also as a team also, like I think I could have kind of showcased a better teamwork, but I don't think I was able to pull it off, you know. Despite the fact that I'm being the captain, I was not able to, you know, be a great leader, so I want to say sorry. What can we expect from DRX in the summer season? On a positive note, I think there were still some moments where, you know, we were able to do a decent job, and we just as a team had a great time together. You know, we were able to build really good bonding within our teammates. So I hope we can just continue this vibe, you know, and try to stay strong as a team and do better at summer season. Frog, you made your debut at the LCK at the end of the spring season. How was it? I was really nervous, you know. I really wanted to kind of prove what I can do, but I was so nervous that I could not just play at my best level. What are your goals as a top laner? I really want to just work hard in order to be remembered as one of the, you know, best pro players.
이어서 스펀지 선수 만나보도록 하겠습니다.
Next
올해
up,
데뷔한 스펀지
Sponge.
선수의 첫 정규 시즌이 마무리가 됐습니다.
This is also your
이번
rookie
스프링
season.
스펀지 선수에게 어떤 경험이 됐나요?
How was the experience for you?
올라와서 정말 잘하는 선수들과 함께 할 수 있어서
After, you
정말
know,
좋았고,
I
다른
was able to
팀
debut at the LCK, I got to
정글러들도
compete
다
with the
잘하는
best
선수들이다
junglers
보니까
here,
그런
so
데는
I got to learn a
배우는 게
lot,
좀
you
많은
know.
시즌이었던 것
Learning
같습니다.
lessons was the kind of the main theme of the
경험을
spring season
바탕으로
for me.
다가오는 서머에는 또 어떤 정글러가 되시고 싶은지 앞으로의 포부 한 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
Then what kind of jungler do you want to become in the upcoming summer
저도
season?
밀리지 않는 그런 뭔가
You know,
상수 같은 정글러가
I just want to
되고
become a very solid jungler who never
응원하도록
loses into
하겠습니다.
any junglers he
예후 선수
faces.
만나보겠습니다. 예후 선수 스프링 도중에 콜업이 되셔서 정말 멋진
And
활약을
Yehu,
보여주셨습니다.
You got
뭐라고
called up
느끼셨나요?
in the middle of the spring season. Looking back, how was it? Well, I cannot really say I'm fully satisfied with the performance, but still, all together as a team, we were able to grow so much. So I'm looking forward to the summer season.
일단 다 같이 개인기랑 전체적으로
Then how are we going to prepare for the summer?
좀 많이 신경 쓸 것
I
같습니다.
want to focus on my individual performance and also all 5 players' individual performance. And also, I want to make sure that we have kind of better teamwork and better shot calling. Teddy, you have achieved the 600 wins in the LCK and also 300 wins in the LCK and 600 games in the LCK. So what does this season mean to you? I mean, I was really happy to perform, you know, but I was a little bit too caught up with my goal, which was, you know, performing at the best level individually. So I was just solely focusing on my personal performance. So I hope summer season I can also be a great team player as well. I mean, alongside with Rascal, being an experienced player on the team must have been some burden as well. What kind of role did you want to play on the side of DRX? I really wanted to, you know, be helpful when it comes to, you know, feedbacks and stuff, but I was really, you know, busy trying to improve my performance, so I was not able to be a big help for the younger players. So I really regret that. So hopefully in the summer season, I hope I can lead the team really well. Anything you want to say to all the DRX fans though? Yeah, we are closing out the season with a loss, but I want to make sure that we can perform better in the summer season. I really, really appreciate all the support. Thank you. Lastly, Pleta. You returned to the LCK as a support player for DRX. How do you feel after finishing the very last series of the season? When I first started, I was kind of worried, you know. I was always thinking what I should do in order to become the best player. Thanks to having Teddy by my side, a very talented and experienced AD carry player, I learned so much, you know, especially about the laning phase and also mid to late game macro. Although our result doesn't really show, the numbers don't really show, but personally, I think I was able to step up so much as a player. Then is there anything you want to say over to Teddy? Any message over to him?
너무 옆에 있죠?
You guys are literally standing next to each other, but anything you want to say to him?
제가 좀 더 발전해 올 테니까
I promise I will become a better player in the summer, so let's do a great job together. Fighting!
너무 궁금합니다.
What is your response, Teddy?
좀 해주셔야죠.
어떤가요?
네.
What was that?
썸머 때
Oh, response? Okay.
네, 잘할 수 있도록 열심히 노력.
Let's work hard in order to, you know, perform better in the summer. I will make sure to, you know, come back stronger. I promise.
자, 라스칼 선수 오늘 DRX의 마지막 경기를
Rascal.
정말 뜨겁게 장식을 해주셨습니다.
Now that was the last match of DRX for the season. As the captain, anything you want to say to your players or the fans?
성적임에도 불구하고 계속
Although we were struggling a lot throughout the season, but
이번 스프링
I really appreciate that the fans are still coming to the Low Park in order to support us. So I want to promise that we will come back stronger in the summer season in order to, you know, play more matches and also just showcase a better form of us. Thank you so much for your support. And this will be the end of the post-match interview and back to the space. Thank you.